Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today we're going to talk about me going out, having the time of my life and paying the price. Before we get started, I'm still doing research on what the chronically ill community needs when it comes to avoiding and handling medical gaslighting. And there are still two ways you can help me do this. Thank you to everyone who has already helped me. The two ways you can help me is by going to my booking site, which I will put a link in the description for, and book an interview with me where I will be asking you about your experience with medical gaslighting. The other way you can help me is by filling out a questionnaire about your experience with medical gaslighting, and I will of course put a link for that in the description as well. So, I went to a concert last weekend and I had the time of my life and I paid the price. And I even caught a cold. As you might be able to hear it, I have a serious cold. And I thought, because I did have a good time and we'll talk about that. But my God, I paid the price. I have been so exhausted the whole week, caught a cold, and so on. And this is very common for people with chronic illness to pay a high price for a few hours of fun. And I thought, let's talk about that. So last weekend I went to a concert with a really good friend of mine, and we went to see, it was like a whole day experience. It started at 3 p.m., ended at 11 p.m., and there were multiple artists playing throughout the day. However, I know with myself, there is no chance that I can go somewhere from, especially something so public, at 3 p.m. and then actually survive till 11 p.m. So me and my friend decided, okay, there are these two artists that we mostly want to see, so we're gonna go see them. So we weren't there till like around 7 p.m. It was still many hours, but at least it was a little better. And this was my first time going to a concert since COVID, since having anxiety and depression. So, I was excited. I was also a little bit nervous, but I was in good hands because my really close friend has been amazing throughout my whole journey with anxiety. She's been really good at including me in everything. And she keeps asking me, do you want to go do this? Do you want to go do that? Do you want to go do this and that? And she asks me so many times and I can always say no. I can always tell her I can't, I don't have the energy, or that makes me too anxious, or whatever. And I can also say yes, but I can't promise you that I can last the whole night or that I won't get anxiety and need to leave. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And there's never any problems. She's an amazing friend. She really has helped me a lot when it comes to my anxiety because she keeps asking me to go places and she keeps helping me push my boundaries, but without pushing too hard so that I can't handle it and I'm going into a panic attack. There is just no problems. If I had at that concert, if I had realized halfway through I can't do this, I'm having a panic attack, we would have left and she would never have mentioned it. She would just have been, we leave. And that's what I really love. That's the kind of friend everybody with chronic illness needs. Somebody who keeps inviting you. They don't stop inviting you just because half of the times you say no because you're exhausted or whatever. And they don't have a problem with you hitting the wall once you're out, right? They don't have a problem with you saying, I need to go now because I can't do this anymore. Those are the kind of friends we need. The kind of friends who won't get upset about that and just support you and still loves hanging out with you. So I'm really blessed to have a friend like that. I have more friends than like that, but she's the one who lives closest to me. So obviously I'm mostly hanging out with her. So we went and I felt really safe going because I knew she would never complain if I said I needed to leave or whatever. And it went really, really well. I was really, really proud of myself. We went there, we wanted to see two really big artists, Danish artists, or Danish bands. The first one is Medina, and the other one was Nick and Jay. They are probably some of the most legendary artists in Denmark. I've been dancing to them my whole youth. And it was such a great experience. And for the first concert with Medina, we were kind of standing a little bit in the back, and we weren't like closely surrounded by people, so that went perfectly fine. Once we were going to see Nick and Jay, I remember people really like, because they are probably the biggest names in Denmark. Like that's like, it doesn't get any bigger than Nick and Jay in Denmark. It doesn't. They are like legendary, and it's like everybody from teenagers to people in their 60s love Nick and Jay. Like, I mean, for real. Like, it's just everybody in Denmark knows who they are. Everybody knows their music. It's amazing to be at their shows because everybody knows them and everybody knows their music, and everybody's just filled with joy when we watch them. But that also means people want to get close to the stage. So we were not even standing that close to the stage, but we were like surrounded by people. And at this point, they were the last people to perform. So at this point, a lot of people were a little drunk, and you know, so they weren't having as many boundaries as they would when they're sober. And they were standing kind of close to us. Not because they were trying to be annoying, not because they were trying to give me panic attacks, but just because that's what you do at a concert, and you had a little bit to drink and everything. And I remember waiting for Nick and Jay to go on to the stage, and I remember thinking, oh my God, it's been so long since I've seen them live, and I was looking so much forward to it, and I was starting to think that I can't do this because we're just standing too close. I'm getting like completely anxiety. But that's the magic with music, right? Because once they went on stage and they hit the first note, like the first song started, and they were like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and sing it. That's ridiculous, but they started the first song. I forgot. I had an hour and a half, maybe they played an hour and a half, where I completely forgot my anxiety. Because I was standing there, I was reliving, you know, my whole youth. You know, every time I went clubbing, there wasn't one night we didn't dance to Nick and Jay, and we still do for that matter. Like, that is still, that brought back so many memories, and I had the freaking time of my life, and I completely forgot everything. It wasn't until they stopped performing, I was like very aware that I was very close with people, and all these people, I think we were like 10,000 maybe, had to go out at the same time from the stadium we were in. And I was like, uh-oh, okay, I'm just gonna hold my friend's hand and we're gonna walk. But for an hour and a half, I completely forgot about my anxiety. I didn't think about bacteria. I didn't think about being too close with people or anything. And I also forgot that I was sick, and I might have, you know, partied a little too hard at that point, jumping and singing, and yeah, but I had the time of my life. And then we went home. Then the aftermath started, right? The next day, first of all, I could tell that I was getting a cold. I wasn't like full-blown having a cold, but I could tell it was coming. And I was exhausted. My whole body was hurting. I don't know if that was anything to do with me being sick, or it maybe just more that my body's not used to jumping and singing all night. I don't know. But my whole body was hurting. I couldn't talk, basically, because I had been singing so much. You know, my voice was completely gone, and I was exhausted. Like, I was completely exhausted. I did plan for that though. So obviously I made sure that I had to do absolutely nothing on Sunday so I could recover. But as you probably know, it's not always enough with one day. And I had to go back to work on Monday, and my cold was really starting to come. And I was still exhausted. I'm telling you guys, I have been so tired all week. I've been standing at work, you know, and after an hour I've been thinking, oh my God, I need to go home. Like, this day just needs to pass. I need to go home and lie on my couch and just relax. I have done nothing else but working and relaxing this week because I haven't been able to do anything else. Because my body's just been so exhausted. Like, I've been overstimulated, right? My physical body has like been dancing and jumping up and down and all that. And mentally, I'm also overly stimulated because, like I said, it was the first time I went to a concert since I got sick. And there was a lot of people and there was a lot of things going on. There was loud, great music, but loud music, and people were drunk. So they weren't really paying attention to if you weren't comfortable with them getting too close to you. And people don't think about it, that you have anxiety when you're standing in a crowd. So I was standing really close with people I didn't know. And like, so I crossed a lot of boundaries. And I was overly stimulated because my antennas are just always out, you know, absorbing everything going on around me, and like, oh, that person looks like they could be sick, so I don't want them too close to me. Like, you know, I'm very, yeah, my brain was definitely working overtime that day. So everything in me was just exhausted. And I remember having lunch with my colleagues on Thursday, and I was like, no, not on Thursday, Friday. And we were talking about what we were going to do this weekend, and I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm still like not recovered from last weekend. And they were like, really? You haven't recovered yet? And I was like, yeah, like, you know, I'm 33 years old and it takes me more than a week to recover from a concert. That's crazy. And my cold just kept, you know, I think it's peaking right now. I mean, I woke up and I could hardly speak. I had to cough. Okay, this is gonna be disgusting, but like cough slime up. And now I'm coughing because I'm talking about it. My nose is completely stuffed and everything. And my friend said that she had gotten a cold too, but as you know, a common cold is just like we don't have enough to deal with, right? So I've been really just spending this weekend on the couch recovering from last weekend and taking care of my cold. And then, you know, I'm filming this YouTube video. And it sucks. It sucks that, you know, I had the ultimate time of my life and I have to pay this huge price. It's been a week. I'm still not over it. On the top of being exhausted and really not having a lot of energy and just not feeling well, I also have a cold that makes me feel even worse than I already did. And, you know, it's really sad to think about. And it's been a hard week. And all I've had to do was go to work, and I have no other plans, but still I could hardly handle going to work. And I work, let me just remind you, I work part-time. So I don't even work full-time, but part-time. And I was like, I could hardly keep my eyes open. Like, it was, you know, I've been going to bed super early, and like, it's been a rough week, you know? And now I'm coughing, and that's because I've been talking for like 15 minutes. But so the big question for this video really is, was it worth it going to that concert? Was it worth the aftermath? Was it worth the price, right? And I have to say, yes, it really was, even though I'm paying the price. Unfortunately, I got a cold as well, so, you know, that made it worse. But yes, it was worth it. And here's why. You know, I'm gonna tell you why. There are many reasons for it. When it comes to my anxiety, it was good for me to, I've been doing a lot of work with doing more things out of my comfort zone when it comes to my anxiety, because I don't want to live a life where I have to miss out on a lot of fun things in life just because I have anxiety, or just because, but you know what I mean. I don't want to miss out. I still want to have a good time. I understand that due to my illnesses, I can't have a good time Thursday, Friday, Saturday every week. But I still do want to have a good time now and then. And going to this concert just gave me one more thing I now know that I can do when it comes to my anxiety. I still have to pay the price afterwards with my, you know, my Crohn's and everything, like my illnesses and being exhausted, fatigued. But I can do it. I'm not going to have a panic attack doing it. I can actually do it. And this opens up a whole lot of more fun for me that I can do now. And so for me, that was worth it when it comes to my anxiety. It was also worth hanging out with my really good friend. You know, we used to go out all the time and party and have a good time when we were young. And it was really fun to do something like that with her again. Like, because we used to have we always have a good time, but we used to have so much fun together, like crazy fun. And it was nice to do that again. You know, we love dancing, we love singing, both of us. So that's what we did all night. And it was really, really fun to do that with her again, I guess. And also, you know, like I said, the artists that we saw, Medina and Nick and Jay, are like some of the biggest in Denmark. And I've actually never seen Medina live, and I was like amazed. He was amazing. And Nick and Jay is always amazing to watch. And I had so much fun. It was so much fun to just sing along to all the songs that I knew from my youth and also newer hits, and just dance and sing and just have this whole experience of being around people and being united somehow, because that's what concerts do, right? You see this artist and everybody who's there loves the artist, and then you kind of unite over that, right? And it was really an amazing feeling. I had such a good time. I really missed dancing and singing and just not giving a beep about anything. And that's what happened. The time I was there during the 2 concerts, like, I forgot that I was sick. I forgot that, everything I've been through. I even forgot that I'm gonna have to pay the price tomorrow. And I just lived in the moment for the first time in a really long time. And I had a blast. So yes, it was worth it, even though I'm still paying the price. At the moment, I do think it's mostly my cold, being annoying. But I paid the price. It's Sunday and it was last Saturday, so it's been a week, and I'm still not 100% recovered. Gotta go to bed really early tonight and hope that I can kick this cold. But it was worth it, because I felt like a human being again. I felt like, okay, you can still have a good time. Yes, you're gonna pay the price, but you had a great time. And yes, it was worth it. I know that I can't do this every weekend. There's no way. I can't. There's no way. That's not realistic. But the fact that I can do it every now and then, not having a panic attack, and yes, I pay the price, but I can actually let go and just experience life for a little bit. I mean, that was really, really good to me and really, really fun. The last thing I want to say is don't miss out on life because you're sick. We have our limits and we have to be aware of them. We have to respect them and don't overdo things. But now and then it's okay. It's okay to just let loose. Plan to let loose, and then plan to have recovery period. Because we all need that. We all need to have a good time. And girls just want to have fun, so. That was today's video, everybody. I hope you really liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, share the video, turn on notifications. You can also go follow me on my Instagram. That's also called The Art of Being Ill. And I'll see you next time right here on my channel, The Art of Being Ill.